So in this video, we're going to walk through the intro to Easel project. So this is basically the next step once you have your machine set up, everything is working. This is what you do once you actually connect it to the computer and you run your very first project. Now, if you're still having issues with the wiring or something mechanical or any issues physically with the machine, be sure and check out some of our previous support docs and videos so that you can get this thing set up. So the first thing we need to do is load the material onto the machine. And you're going to do that with our clamps. Now you can either use the clamps that go into these threaded inserts, or you can use the clamps that go into our T-slots. So our T-slot clamps look like this. You've got a knob at the top and the bottom part that slides through the T-track. And even to line it up square and straight, you can put it on the edge of the T-track. And then you're just going to clamp it down. Then you just do the same from the other side. And then another way to clamp it down is using our threaded inserts along the wasteboard. You're gonna have a screw that goes into the threads as well as the actual clamp portion and this little riser block that goes on the back. Now either of these options are going to work totally fine. So depending on your material, you're gonna use a different number of clamps. The big thing is you just wanna make sure this is fully secure and it's not going to move at all once your bit actually has contact with the material. Now coming over to Easel, it's going to walk us through this intro project. You can see step one, this is where we're going to create our design. It's asking me to click the text. And then you can change your cut and your shape settings here. So you can see this menu right here, you've got our shape menu as well as our cut menu. And then going along with our tour, it's showing us the 3D preview. So that is this section over here on the right. And you can actually click and drag this around. And if you shift click, you can pan it around. And then you can also zoom in and zoom out with a scroll wheel or with 2 fingers on a Mac. And then if you have a real complex design, this may not be giving you the best detail. So instead, what you can do is hit detailed view, and it's going to give you a nice detail view. But you can also see that it is not going to actually carve out the entire material, and that is because of our bit that actually is selected inside of Easel. So right now we have an 1/8 inch bit selected, and we are going to change that to a 60-degree V-bit. And so if you scroll down, you see our 60 degree is right there. And then once you do that, you can see our design is carved out. And that is because you're getting the very tip of that V shape is able to go into all of those different areas. And this is actually the V-bit that we're going to be using to do that we'll install here in a minute. Now next step, we're going to add our material. Now this is where you can put in your material type as well as material dimensions. The material type will not only affect the way it looks, but it'll also affect our saved cut settings. So if we have the combination of material as well as bit that you select, we're automatically going to give you your cut settings, but we'll get to that here in a minute. In this case, I am just going to use birch plywood, and then I measured mine before, and instead of 12 × 8, it is actually 12 × 6, so I'm going to adjust that, and I'm going to adjust this to 0.75 inches as a result. And then you also want to make sure that your Z thickness is accurate. And this is especially true if you're going all the way through your material. You're going to want to use calipers and actually measure the thickness of your material. If you're just engraving the top like this is going to be, it's not going to be as big of a deal. But just because you buy something that says it's 3/4 of an inch, make sure and measure it so that the X-Carve knows exactly how far deep it needs to go to carve out. All right, now we're going to make sure our machine is connected. And you can see right now it is blue. I'm going to turn my machine on, and you can see that it has now turned to green. So we're going to go ahead and install our bit. So we're going to slide our bit up. There's a button on the back where you can lock it so it won't spin, and then you can tighten it, hand tighten it, and then you can come back with your wrenches and tighten it down so it's secure. Now at this point, the tooltips are going to end, but the Carve menu is going to walk you through the rest of the process. So once we hit Carve, it's going to ask us to home the machine. It wants to make sure you don't have any obstructions and everything is clear when it homes. And what it's going to do is find the limits of all the axes so you can find your home position. And that home position is basically as far to this corner as it possibly can be. So as far left and as close to you as we can get it. Now one thing we need to make sure of, if you do have clamps already set up, that nothing is going to knock it, especially if you're using these toggle saw clamps and you have some high threads like mine, these might hit. So I am just going to actually raise these up. This is for the dust collector boot. And everything else I should be able to clear just in case. So I'm gonna hit home machine. So the Z axis is going to go all the way up till it hits that limit switch, which is right back there. It's gonna hit it. And then from there, it's gonna move left and forward. It's got the limit switch on the left. So at this point, the machine is fully homed and we continue on our Carve setup process. And in this first screen, it's going to double check that you have measured your material. So you can see we've got that 0.75 inches that we entered in earlier. We're going to hit confirm material thickness. And then it's also going to make sure that your material is fully secure, which it is. And the next step is going to confirm your bit. So it's the 60-degree V-bit. Now the next step is going to zero us with the Z. Now this distance is dependent on the bit because it's measuring from the tip of your bit. Now at this point you could either use the Z probe or you could do this manually. To do this manually, you would jog the bit and then drop it down so it's just touching that top surface. But for us, we are going to use our Z probe. So I'm gonna hit probe, and then first it wants us to jog our machine over the material. And to do that, I'm gonna be using the jog menu, which is over here on the right. We have both Y, X, and Z controls, as well as the home. And then you can see we can change the distance that it's going to move. The X and the Y are together, and the Z especially is pretty easy to hit the wrong thing and have it go too far up or too far down. So we separated those out for you guys. So I'm gonna switch mine over to 1 inch for the X and the Y. And then I am clicking and moving this around. You can also use the arrow keys as well. And then I'm going to drop down my Z to get it pretty close. I am gonna switch it to 1 inch because I have a good ways to go. You can also hold shift up and down with your arrow keys. And we want to get close enough to where we can get the puck in. So we're going to confirm our position. We're going to plug the lead into the carriage. And then it's going to ask us to attach our clip and then place the puck underneath. And then it's going to ask you to make contact so it has an electrical connection. Our touch plate is in place, and then hit start probing. All right, so we now have found our Z position, so we can take all of this off. And now we're going to set our X, Y, 0. So this is the work 0, which is different than your home position. The home position, again, is as far left and as far forward that the machine can possibly go, so like right here. And the work 0 is that exact same position just for your material. So this corner is far left and as far forward or at the bottom of your design. So we are going to jog this over till we get close. And for this, we're just going to eyeball it. So I'm actually dropping my Z-axis down some so I can see it a little bit better. And that won't affect our Z probe at all because we've got that value already saved. So you can adjust it as needed. And we're going to say that is fairly close. So I'm going to hit set XY0. And now we're going to attach our dust boot. And to do this, I'm actually going to raise up our router so it gives us more room to put it in. So on the sides here, these are adjustable. So this is going to allow you to drop this down. And then I'm going to go ahead and insert my dust shoe. And then you want to drop it down where the brushes are hitting your material. We're going to make sure we turn on our spindle. So we're going to have the dial set to 1. We're going to turn this guy on, and we are going to carve. While this is running, there's actually speed controls at the very top of Easel. So you can speed this up as well as slow this down depending on how the cut is going. And then if you run into issues with the Carve, you can always stop it either with the emergency stop button or stopping it inside of Easel. And from there, it's going to ask how the Carve went, and that's going to give you more information on how to troubleshoot your machine. But in general, you can always come up here to help. You can come down to troubleshooting, and you can go through a lot of the common issues we have seen when people are using the X-Carve as well as Easel. Also in that menu, we've got our video gallery with all the other features inside of Easel as well as a bunch of learning and our forms. So at this point, you've got your machine up and running and you are good to go. We can't wait to see what you guys make with it.